What is up, everybody? My name is XrayCosmo and welcome back to another Overwatch video. So today I am talking about Overwatch 2 again, but this is something a little bit different than how I usually talk about the game. I'm going to be talking about some new heroes and possible abilities for them. So I have a bunch of characters listed here that we have info or even official Blizzard artwork that I want to talk about in today's video. But before I start, I do want to ask all of you, if you find yourself enjoying my videos, and please do subscribe. A large percentage of you that watch aren't subscribed, but I don't want to spend too much time on that, so let's get into the characters. So the first character I want to start off with is Junker Queen. Now we actually know a bit about Junker Queen. Obviously we know she is in correlation with Roadhog and Junkrat and the map Junkertown. She is the queen of Junkertown, but also the champion mech fighter of the location until Hammond comes along, obviously. There's a picture of her up on the screen right now. She's super cool looking. She has that awesome axe, looks like it could do some damage as well. That will be having something to do with my prediction or more ideas for her abilities, by the way. So there are many possibilities for her as which role she could be. Being a DPS or a tank, she most likely won't be a support. Jeff actually said himself in the Yule vlog. If I can find that clip, I'll play it on the screen right now. But if I can't, then you guys will just have to take my word for it. So I'm going to be placing her as a DPS. Now I know a lot of people have said that she looks more as a tank, but damage really just fits her more in my opinion. She seems like the warrior type, and that's why I'm putting her there. So I want to start off with her main attack, which I think could be super unique actually. Now we all know that she has her battle axe, which I mentioned earlier, but in lots of pictures she has two of them. So what I was thinking was they could be a projectile used as like almost throwing axes. Obviously if that didn't work, it could just be a brig style weapon, but that's not fun if we want something new, or at least I want something new. It could be maybe like her primary is her swing and then maybe her secondary is throwing, so she has like a little bit of range. I think that would be cool. Now onto her abilities, I want to start with her primary or her E, and I think that would be something like a smoke grenade. She does have them on the side of her arm, so I think that is pretty cool since we don't have anything like that, and it would work well as maybe a counter to something like Widow's ult. And then I actually have a pretty cool idea for her shift, so the best way I can explain this is Sigma's Rock, but like a shoulder charge. It would be called like Lunge. It would do the same thing as Sigma's Rock, just close range, so she's at risk since she's a DPS and she kind of has to get up in your face. Now lastly we have the Junker Queen ultimate. Now this is going to incorporate another part of her lore. So as you can see on the screen, she has these mechs. They're obviously not as big as Diva's mech, but still kind of big. So what I was thinking was if she would hit Q, this mech would fly down onto her and then the arm could shoot fire, kind of like a flamethrower, and it would set the enemy on fire like an ash bomb. But here's the thing, if you don't hold it down the enemy, it doesn't do that much damage. Kind of like a sim beam where if you hold it on someone it gets stronger. It would do the same. I've been thinking about this and I wasn't sure whether to reference it to more sim or have it be something like Echo's beam where she basically melts under 50%. This would be deadly with things like EMP or Grav, or if it was the one like Echo's beam, it would be strong with Sigma's ult. I want to know what you guys think. Honestly, now that I'm saying this out loud, these abilities can kind of work for tank too. Anything for her would honestly be fine as long as she's not a support. I just don't think she seems like one. These ideas honestly are pretty mediocre on my part, so if you guys have anything, I'm going to be saying this pretty much for every hero, just leave a comment down below of your ideas of what their abilities could be. Our next hero you guys have probably heard of as well, first making his appearance in the Retribution event, is Maximilian. He is the leader of town and he is a pretty evil guy. He gave up Doomfist's location, leading to Doom's life in prison. Maximilian also owns a casino, and that may not seem important now, but you guys will realize why I said that later on when I talk about his moveset. He has shown up a lot recently, making him a pretty prominent character, which is why I'm going to make the prediction that he will show up in Overwatch 2 as a playable hero. So to start off with his primary fire, which I was looking into him a lot and people actually said a lot too, was his throwing cards. Now, as I mentioned that he owns a casino, this is why people have obviously been saying this. Now, because of this being his primary fire, this will be leading into his shift or E. You can really just switch up the abilities, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be specific. But his shift is going to be a tracking card. Now this will attach onto the player kind of like a Zen orb and make it so you can see them through walls like Hanzo's sonar, but only for one player, and it will automatically attach like a Discord orb. It might be OP if you can see them through walls, maybe like an arrow or just like an indicator to show where they are. Next is E, which is going to be like Torb's ability where he just gets powered up. He will also be able to shoot fast, he will do more damage, and he will get a bit of armor. I tried to be original, but I really couldn't think of an extra ability. Now last we have his ultimate, which I actually think is a pretty good idea. It plays into his personality, and I wasn't really sure whether to call it like ace or scam or something along those lines. So basically he would just create duplicates of himself to trick the other team. And if any of you guys have seen Naruto, kind of like his shadow clones, if you hit them they disappear. I think there's not really anything in the game like this, so this would be a cool new thing. It would be cool to like push with this. Maybe it wouldn't work in like super high ranks. That's really the only flaw I kind of see with it, because like the higher ranks aren't like as stupid. No offense, but I wasn't really able to think of the best abilities for this one. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So if you have any better ideas, once again, I would love to read them. The next hero is going to be Moira. Now, I'm really not sure if I said that right, but there's really not much backstory besides that he was in Talon and he was part of the Brute Force and New Baptiste. But because of this, we know he was part of the Brute Force. That puts us in a good position to guess what role he might be. My prediction for him is tank, and I'm actually going to be talking about something that was in another video from the YouTube channel TGN said about him. They had a super good moveset for him, and I honestly couldn't think of anything better. Since he is a Brute Force officer, it gives us the information that he wields 2 miniguns. Now, before shooting these, it would take a charge up time, kind of like if you played Fortnite, how it takes time to charge up the minigun. Then shooting would make you slower, kind of like how Diva's gun makes you slower when you shoot, or I'm pretty sure Orissa's does that too as well, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. Now, his next ability we know tanks are not shy to, which is a shield. He will wield this on his arm, kind of like a Reinhardt shield, but a little bit weaker because it will only really cover him, because he's going to be more of like a Roadhog tank in my eyes. Next is his shift. I don't want to copy from what I said before with Junker Queen, but it would be cool if he had a lunge type ability that knocks players' backs. The Brutes are able to charge, but I don't want to just copy Ryan. And lastly is his ultimate, which since he is such a big guy and basically a super soldier, his ult is, to put it plain and simple, he's just gonna go complete ape shit. He's gonna get faster, he's gonna get more armor, his shield's gonna get bigger, and lastly get a jump at the beginning that sends out an earthquake type ability that juggles the other team around. Once again, this is all just speculation, so let me know your guys' ideas for Moira as well. The last hero I'm going to be talking about today is Jorn. Now, we have seen this hero in the trailer for Overwatch 2 and in one of the parts of the cinematic scenes of the trailer. She is a member of Overwatch and we don't have that much information on her, but she is actually already confirmed for Overwatch 2 by the Overwatch team. I'm just going to place her as a DPS because she really just doesn't look like either a tank or a healer, so let's start off with that. So I'm going to start with her gun, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It just looks like a normal rifle, probably something like Soldier's gun in my opinion. Also, her secondary fire, maybe she could like charge up her gun and shoot something like a Zarya orb, but like the more powerful it gets, the longer you hold it. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, it's not really anything we have, so it's still unique. Next would be her E, which I actually think this ability is super fitting to how she looks in the trailer, which is a slide ability, kind of like McCree's roll, but you're able to shoot when you're sliding, so something more like the sliding in Call of Duty than a roll. Next is her shift, which is going to be a stun. Now, what I think would be really cool is like an electric stun. So what she would do is she would throw the thingy on the ground, kind of like a Junkrat trap, and the player would get held in it. Now, there's really not anything like this in the game, but I do have an example because there's not really a way to explain it. So the clip on the screen right now is from the movie Endgame. I'm sure all of you know what that is. And as you can see, there is a thing holding Thanos' arm from Star-Lord that he throws out on the ground. Something like that. Maybe it would hold you for a few seconds. Once again, like I said, a Junkrat trap, and you could attach it to walls. I think that would be super cool. Now, the last thing for Jorn is obviously her ultimate. Now, in the trailer for Jorn, she pulls out her arm and it transforms into this weapon. So maybe she could charge something up like her secondary fire I mentioned before, but it could just be way more powerful. Or maybe it's like a noob tube that just does a ton of damage. I don't know where Blizzard would go with this, but that's your guys' job as well. So leave a comment for your ideas and let me know. Do you guys like these predictions? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. And if you want more gaming content and news, hit that subscribe button and that bell so you can see all my videos when they first come out. Also, if you want a shout out at the end of the video, leave a comment so you could get picked for that. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.